Well, good evening, good morning, good whatever time of day it is for you. Because for me right now, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's insanely early. Um, and I thought, you know what? I need to do some recording, okay? Because I have been gone for a month. And obviously you can see in right in front of you if you're watching the video version. My daughter is currently on camera, and this is the reason why I've been gone. My wife and I had a baby, and it's amazing. And tonight I kind of want to do tonight and morning, whatever time. This episode's going to be all about the day my life changed, and the day of her birth. It's kind of, if you're not into something like that, you don't need to be. This isn't an episode for you, obviously. Then this is more or less me kind of explaining what happened, me kind of going over what happened. She is currently out like a light. She can sleep through anything. She'll sleep through this whole episode. I really wanted to kind of show her on camera. I'm actually going to go lay her back down at the intro, but there's a lot of stuff that I need to apologize for, but we'll get into that. Because I've been gone for so long, and so we're gonna talk a lot about that. This is gonna be a kind of maybe a little bit of a shorter episode, just kind of getting it out there, letting it be, and we'll get into some more real talk stuff. I'm not sure if we're gonna get into that today, just because I don't know how long I'm gonna go on with this story and how things are gonna go. But anyway, my name's Chris. This is Anna, and well, this is just another Neckbeards podcast. Okay, sorry for the big pause there. I was laying Anna back down, and now it looks like she might wake up from that. So this might end up not being the recording I use. So let's see what happens. She might yawn herself back to sleep. She's been changed. She's been fed. I mean, I'm hoping that she doesn't wake back up. But I mean, this has been kind of a daily routine right now. Like really, like 3 a.m. like clockwork. She wakes up, and I kind of have to wake up, or my wife has to wake up with her. It's just it's a process. I love her though. She's amazing. I mean, my wife and I could not have asked for anything else. I mean, it really is. For those of you that don't understand what it's like, because there's a lot of you out there that don't know what it's like to have a child, the process of it, and just you obviously are nervous the first, your first child, because especially with us, we didn't expect it. So Anna, her name is Anna. And she is my wife and I's daughter. And I mean, we really couldn't have asked for, any other blessing, other than what she has become. And it was honestly one of the easiest births that I've probably ever, let me get that off camera, ever seen. And the only, really, but I kind of wanted to talk about what it's been like for us so far, and what she might be waking up, so if she wakes up, I might leave it on and just try to trim this out, but I don't have a lot of editing software to really do it that well, so we'll find out. Hopefully she doesn't like wake up and I just have to dump all this. I keep going on this. I kind of wanted to do this recording just because I wanted to give you guys an explanation, give you guys a story, and talk about my journey so far. This isn't obviously a very popular show. It's just kind of a passion project that I do because I enjoy doing it. I want to entertain people, and I want to entertain you, and mostly it entertains myself. So that's why I kind of do it. But I really wanted to give you an idea of what it's been like, what our journey was. So my wife and I obviously found out about her pretty early in the year. My wife had taken a pregnancy test, and we found out we were having a baby. And it was kind of a shock to both of us because, again, we weren't actively trying to prevent it. We were having fun, and it happened. So we expected, we didn't expect it to come. And when I initially had heard the news, I kind of didn't know how to react to it, which really upset my wife. She was very happy to hear it because she, for her whole life, she'd been told that she was never going to be able to have kids because she has a lot of medical issues. And her getting the news, because she always wanted to be a mother, getting the news that she's having a baby. Here comes my dog now. You could probably hear her. Hopefully she doesn't start barking. I'll actually get really upset about that because she might. Again, the baby will sleep through it, but I don't need her bothering you. All right, Hi, Daisy. Hi. And we never, she'd been told her whole life that she was never going to be able to have kids. And the news, seeing the pregnancy test right in front of her that says positive, she was very happy because she wanted to be a mother. She really wanted to be a mother, like really bad. And this is really kind of her only chance. Not really her only chance, but like this is the best chance that she has in her life right now is our situation. We're married, we have a house together, we have, not the best jobs in the world, but decent jobs. We're not in, we're not living in squalor, not to be bragging about it, but we work very hard for the things that we have. And, we have, we're married, and that was my stipulation too. We'd been, we'd been together for a long time, and one of my stipulations as far as protection and like preventative measures for things like a baby was, well, I don't want to have a baby out of wedlock. That's one of my stipulations that we had. So after we got married, we just stopped caring. I was like, oh, whatever, we don't need to like try to prevent it anymore. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And for a long time, it didn't. And we weren't trying. We were just enjoying the activity, more or less. And then here comes the baby. So we found out about the baby, and we announced it to our family. We got them all together over for dinner, and we had this cute little idea where we put a shirt on our dog. It says "Oopsie Daisy" because her name is Daisy. Our dog's name is Daisy. It said "Oopsie Daisy, we're having a baby," and it was very cute. We thought it was a really cute idea, and I'm gonna take the credit for that idea because it was my idea. Because I saw that shirt, it was really like a toddler shirt. Because our dog is like a small to medium sized dog. She's a beagle, so it gives you an idea of how big she is. So she could easily fit into that shirt, and it was even still a little big on her. But we put that on her, and it was really cute. So we had our family over for dinner and just had the shirt on her and waited for people to notice. Nobody noticed right away. It was just like, hey, did you see her? She's wearing, my wife's parents were the first ones to show up, and they said, they said, oh, you dressed up Daisy too, huh? Cute. And I was like, did you read the shirt? No. And then, it took me a couple times to get them to realize the shirt. And then they finally read it, her mom read it, and, they were both crying because it's the first grandchild for both of our sides, really. And her mom was ecstatic because she wanted really bad to be a grandma. So her mom and her dad were very happy about it. And then my dad and stepmom had shown up after, and the next ones to show up. And then my own mother, she actually was working that day, I believe, or something. So she didn't find out until a couple days later when we were actually able to have her over for dinner. But my dad had actually known prior to it because my wife had spilled the beans by accident, and I was really mad about it too because she had texted. She was texting her friend about it because she had told her friend, and I was mad that she'd already told her friend anyway because I wanted our family to know first. So I was a little upset about that, and actually I was right. I was completely right and justified in being mad at her anyway because she was texting her friend about how far along we were, which I think was at 6 weeks. It was either 6 or 5 weeks, I believe, when we'd known how far along that we were, and she totally sent that to my dad by accident instead of. Was it my dad? Oh, no, she'd sent it to my dad by accident instead of her friend. And it was like a day or two before we were supposed to have people over. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I was so mad. I was so mad that she had spilled the beans about that. So anyway, everybody finds out. Everybody's really happy for us, obviously, because that's the normal reaction. You have to be happy about it, of course. I mean, you're really gonna there's obviously some people out there that are gonna be upset and they're gonna be mad about it, but you can't. You have to be happy about it because it's you're bringing a life into the world, and if your first initial reaction about that life is upset or anger, you're not gonna raise that kid properly. You're not gonna raise that child with good intentions, or you want to have as positive an outlook as you can on it. And it looks like she's rocking and rolling right now, so I might need to start speeding things up a bit for you, because I don't want to take away from it. I do still want to do another episode after this. I do want to kind of keep it under half an hour for this shorter one. Anyway, so it's basically after that, everybody knows. We start letting people know. We start learning, getting more doctor's appointments, and then it keeps going. It's more or less the first few months are just a lot of not really anything different about your life. Even still, the first I want to say 5 months, nothing really changes about your life. It's the later part of it, and a lot of people say that. Well, before we get to that, so things get when we find out the gender of the baby. I was really hoping for a boy. Clearly that didn't happen. We ended up with a daughter. Ended up with a little girl, and she's lovely. I love her. I just as a guy, you want somebody to be able to pass your name on to. You want to have that. You want to have things that you can do guy stuff with. Not to say that she can't do any of the any sports or anything like that. That's obviously up to her. And when she grows up and gets older, she'll decide what she likes, what her interests are, and things like that. And we'll be there along the way with her to help support her. But I just really wanted I really wanted a boy because we don't have any boys as far as my name side of the family yet. So. Well, I guess we do have one, but we need more than one boy to help keep the name going, because my family's they're a dying name right now. We need more boys. We have nothing but daughters right now. So, and obviously this is first one for my side, and my wife's side as well. Not to say that there won't be more. We're not planning on more, but babies just happen, if we have another one, we have another one. I can't believe I'm already talking about having another child after we just had one, but we'd had this discussion before that if we do have kids, we want no more than 2, just because 2 is kind of a good amount. Any more than that, I feel like is too much. And I grew up with one other sibling, so I think that, and I kind of want to give my kids the same experience that I had. That's really what you do when you get older, and you want to start having kids. You want to give your kids the same experience you did. because most people usually have good memories about their childhood. And people that don't try to give their kids the same experiences they had usually are trying to avoid the stuff that they got away from, as far as their family or any trauma they had. I'm saying a lot because I've gotten worse at this since I haven't done it for a while, and I want to apologize. But anyway, so the first 5 months, life's not really too different. We try to spend time together, and we go to doctor's appointments together, learn the gender of the baby. We have a big reveal party, which I wasn't too excited about because that's kind of a silly notion to me. But we find out we're having a daughter, and my whole family, they're happy for us. But again, my grandpa, he comes to me, he's like, and it's really funny because all the guys on my side of the family really wanted a boy, just because there's no other boys. We find out we're having a daughter, so it's like, oh well. But so we go through all that. Why do I even? So after that, we start getting to the later months of it, and this is where I want to say this. This isn't something that we did. We weren't having a kid to save our marriage or because our marriage is failing. Like some people say that they do that if they're like, oh, your marriage is in struggle, they want to have kids just to try and help save it. I've never. You might have heard stuff like that before. I'm only premising it because I want to say this. Having going through pregnancy. As far as from my point of view, going through that isn't actually a way to save your marriage. If anything, it's going to make it worse, because the pregnancy, going through the hormones that my wife was having, going through all the struggles of what my wife's dealing with, and passing it on to me, and I can't imagine why having a child would ever save anyone's marriage if they're already failing, because, oh boy, the last few months were like the hardest on us. As far, not to say that we're struggling or anything like that. It was, I mean, it's just, it's bad. Like there's hormones are raging, and like my wife was miserable because, she ended up getting diabetes from the pregnancy. It's gone now because it's really just like a temporary thing. It's called gestational diabetes. But it was hard on her because she has to start taking insulin, watching what she eats more. And she can't do as much because now her body is like sore, swollen, and she there's something taking all the energy from her. Her baby's taking all the energy from her to grow and develop the things that the baby needs. And it's just hard. It really is hard. And I feel bad for her because it's not something that I can really fully understand. It's not something I can really fully grasp as a male. I'm glad that it's over with because, oh boy, it was it was kind of rough having to deal with that for a while. It really is. The pregnancy is harder than actually taking care of the child. Taking care of the child is easy right now. It's really easy. She just goes to the bathroom, eats, and then rock her to sleep, and she's good. It's kind of it. She's actually pretty much almost awake now, so I think I'll start wrapping things up. But we, time comes, we start getting closer to the due date, and we got induced. It wasn't a cesarean like some people with gestational diabetes get, because the problem with diabetes in pregnancy is that the babies can end up developing more fat on them and end up being larger than what you initially expected. We were very lucky that the diabetes didn't affect the baby almost at all. She came out at 6 pounds and 14 ounces, I believe. 6 pounds 14 ounces. So almost 7 pounds. And I mean, she was a string bean. She was a tiny baby, only 20 inches long. She was a tiny baby. And we got induced at 39 weeks because the doctor didn't want us to go up to the full 40, which, I mean, a week early, that's no big deal. It's nothing to worry about. And she's, I mean, the whole process of it, like my wife was miserable, pretty much immediately during the, when we got to the hospital. She was just uncomfortable. She'd been uncomfortable for a while. So we get the induction, which basically means they just put medicine in her to try and help cause the muscles to cause the birth. And it first started off with a pill that they put inside of her. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. And that didn't work too much. But then they started another one that was intravenous. And that one actually started working really well. That actually got her water to break. And then she started dilating more until it was time for her to give birth. Until she was pretty much like, you need to start pushing. Because the doctor hadn't even gotten there yet. And the nurse come in and she was like, oh, we could probably start pushing. Because she basically went from 2 centimeters for like hours and hours and hours to like 8 centimeters within like a few hours. It was just like, boom, all right, we're having this baby. It was nuts. And then at 10 centimeters is when you can start pushing, and the nurse was like, all right, let's start getting this baby out, let's start pushing. Doctor shows up, and I was holding one of my wife's legs, and her mother was in there as well, holding the other leg to help push, help hold her legs up while she's pushing the baby out. And my wife had an epidural, which basically was just pain medicine to help ease her from having difficulty. And actually, she like no issues. She was like, she could feel the pressure of the baby, like wanting to come out. But as far as like pain went, she was good. Like she was not a painful birth for her. It was just the struggle of pushing it. And she pushed the baby out, and again. Some people might get grossed out by watching it or stuff like that. It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't that disgusting. I didn't record it because I thought that was kind of weird. I did take pictures of the baby though. Used our camera to record some video after she'd given birth and take pictures. And I mean, it's amazing. I guess I could have prefaced some of the pictures and started showcasing some of them, but I didn't. I don't really want to go too much into my own personal details of everything, or I don't need to like go so far with it right now because it's not that big a deal. A lot of the I haven't even posted a lot of the pictures on like my social media or anything like that, just because it's my private matter. I don't need to share it. It's really more like you take pictures for your own record more than anything like that, because my wife wants to make her a book, like a little baby book of her growing up, because my wife is my wife is insanely excited about it. And then it's not saying I'm not either. Of course I'm happy. I'm excited to go through this journey as well. And she's just she's just really excited because she always wanted to be a mother, and this is something that she's really wanted almost her whole life. And I mean, after we gave birth to her, it was incredible. Like holding the baby for the first time, obviously my wife gets to hold the baby first, and she should. It was like I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the moment my wife first held the baby after she pushed her out. It was like she cried her eyes out, and like my eyes are watering now because I remember it so vividly, and it's a beautiful moment, and it was like incredible. It was almost like my wife's happiest moment. Like it was nuts, and I mean, it made me happy too, just to see it, because she was crying, and it was just like tears of joy. Like she was just bawling and bawling because she even said, she was like, I still didn't believe it until like she actually held the baby. Like she couldn't believe it, and then she held the baby, and she just, she couldn't help herself. She was crying so much. She loved it. It was, and then I get to hold the baby afterwards, and it was just. Like it's incredible when people tell you, like, when you first hold the baby, it's just like love at first sight. It really is. Like you can't believe it. It's hard to like really put those feelings into words. It's just it's incredible. It's an incredible experience. I couldn't feel any more blessed than how we do now. And so we have family come in. All the family comes and sees her, and just everybody's happy. I'm a happy dad. I've had a shirt that my mom had bought for me. I actually have a few shirts that are like I'd given hints about the baby coming up to. You probably saw my one shirt. If you watch the video version, I had one shirt that said "Leveling Up to Daddy Status." I wore that a couple times. I dropped some hints here and there about this coming, but the one I'd worn was it was a promoted daddy. Promoted to daddy status, and it had the year 2019 on it. It's cute. I pretty much put that shirt on almost immediately after she was born, and I start all the families there. Everybody wants to see the baby and hold the baby because it's everybody. That's what you go there for, especially all the grandparents. And even my grandparents who are still around. I'm fortunate enough to have them still around. They came and showed up, and they were really excited to see the baby too. And even my grandma, she still wants to come over and see the baby like almost all the time. And so I'm happy about that. And now my wife and I have been, at home, because we were only at the hospital for a couple days. We were able to leave because they don't really keep you that long. She's getting real fussy now, so I might pull over so you guys can see her again real quick one last time if you watch the video. But I walked over, where was I at? Sorry. So we are very fortunate. We had some friends come over, but now we're staying at home, and things aren't really that bad. It's not that bad right now. The only thing that kind of stinks is that she pretty much wakes up on the clock, like on the dot at 3 a.m. She wakes up and she wants to eat and all the stuff that she wants to do. You can probably hear right now, but it's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. It just kind of stinks because we have to keep a constant eye on her. So there's not like for the first couple weeks, we actually weren't even able to go out because they don't tell you don't leave the house, just stay at home because her immune system needs to build up. So kind of stayed at home a lot. My wife doesn't like that. I'm perfectly content with that. I can stay at home. I have no issues with that. So now we're at like 4 weeks now. We're pretty much at like 4 weeks, coming up soon. She's almost at a month now. She'll be a month this week. So we're pretty excited. We're really happy with her right now. We couldn't have asked for anything else. We're really blessed. You hear that word a lot when people talk about this stuff too, and it really is the best descriptor for it. We couldn't be happier right now. We're very fortunate to have family to help support us with her and everything. And I'm saying the same stuff over and over again because I do this a lot on my show. When I get the stuff that I'm like, I'm not sure how to go forward anymore. It's a journey, and we're really excited. But as far as the show is being affected, after the initial birth, I kind of took a break because we needed to establish ourselves. I think we're getting to that point now where we're more established at home. We can get kind of a routine going. We can start letting ourselves do things individually because for a while, my wife and I basically just next to each other all the time. And I kind of want to start doing things individually again. She doesn't really like that much. But cause she gets a little stir crazy, but I've told her before, I was like, well, you can do stuff too. I don't have to always be around. We're our own people. But anyway, so she's starting to wake up, and I'm going to go ahead and head on out. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you next time.